YouTube at WTIM TV. That's really helpful for if you're stepping away from your radio for a moment. Go on to Facebook or YouTube and search TaylorvilleDailyNews.com for Facebook or WTIM TV for YouTube. Spring is in the air, and here to talk all about it concerning 4-H, I have youth and development educator for 4-H in Christian County, Sarah Martin. Welcome back, Sarah.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here on the program talking about all of this stuff in your new newsletter. The March 2023 newsletter features right off the bat a 4-H show information and all the upcoming workshops. So where do you want to take it from here? Where do you want to start, Sarah?
We can talk about the workshops first. We can talk about the show a little bit later on. As I've said before, we talk about the 4-H show about 12 months out of the year. We're always kind of thinking and talking about it. But in the spring, we always offer, like in the fall and throughout the year, workshops that both 4-H members or non-4-H members can attend. So we have a few different ones coming up. Our first one is kind of an online activity, the spring photography contest, where you just have to take a picture and send those into an email. And then we have a panel of judges that judges them by age groups, and you kind of get some prizes for winning those. And we feature all of them on our website.
What are these photography or photos of? Are we talking farm animals? What are we talking?
So it really can be anything. We have like a spring theme. So whatever spring means to you. So if you live on a farm, that might mean, like plants growing and flowers. If you live in town, that could be, an activity you do in the spring. So really just a spring theme to you. So something that reminds you of spring or represents spring is what you can take a picture of and submit.
Anything that folks should remember when they submit their photographies, their photos?
Yeah. So because we have them separated out by ages, we just want to make sure when you submit the photo to list your full name, so first and last name, how old you are, and then the county that you're representing. So, and there's just one picture per member, but you take as many as you want and then pick the one you want to submit overall.
Also in your newsletter, I'm seeing stuff about 4-H budgeting workshops for teens. I think that's really important that you're teaching kids about budgeting. It's something that high school doesn't really teach all the time. In some classes it might, but not generally speaking. And even into my adult years, I'm still learning how to budget. So tell me a little bit about this Thursday, April 27th budgeting workshop.
Yeah, so kind of like you said, like it's a skill that you need for the future in many different ways, whether it's part of your job or just, as going through life, you need to know how to budget your money and take care of your money. And we've noticed through some like needs assessment and questions, that's a skill that can be lacking in some of our teens and our young adults as they get older. So we are offering a budgeting workshop. It's Thursday evening, April 27th at the Montgomery County Extension Office. But again, Christian County members can attend as well. And we're going to use our 4-H budgeting manual, our project book in financial literacy, to kind of go through like why a budget is important, how to set a budget, what components in it, to just kind of lay a groundwork and kind of get them used to using a budget and kind of figuring out where their money goes.
Another spring type event, you have a flower kit, and those will be available later in the spring, but the registration deadline is about a month away. So I wanted to give you a chance to talk about it, Sarah.
Yeah, so we continue to offer our like at-home or take-home kits that we kind of created during COVID, and we've still kind of stuck those around. We've had good responses to them. And the one we're offering later in the spring is a flower kit. So you can sign up. I believe it's open to all ages, so 8 to 18, and you'll receive a little flower pot, seeds to plant the flower, and then information to care for them as you get older, how to, repot them and get them to continue growing. So again, those are take-home kits, so you'll get all the information and just do it on your own at your own time at home. But yes, so kits aren't available until May, and you have until the middle of April to register, but that's also available right now.
Obviously, you mentioned that these kits gained a lot of popularity during the pandemic, but from an extension office standpoint, what do you feel the benefit is for people who pick up these kits? What do you feel they gain by participating in them?
Yeah, so each kit is focused on one of our 4-H projects or 4-H kind of information. So we ultimately are, trying to teach them a little something about that lesson or about that subject. So for flowers, we're hoping, they learn how to plant a flower and learn about different germination types and things like that. Each of our other kits, whether it's bread in a bag, we've just done is teaching them about some sort of food preparation or food safety. So, we're trying to teach them some of those concepts, but just as well as keeping them, active, making them, think about projects as they relate to, maybe a future career, getting them, interested in a future hobby potentially. Just letting kids explore a hobby or a topic on their own time and in their own way to see kind of where that goes.
Moving on down your list in your newsletter, you have a public speaking contest. One of the many things 4-H offers is the ability to develop their career skills, including public speaking. And this one's actually sooner than April. It's coming up pretty quick. Has the deadline to register passed already? What's going on there?
So yeah, our public speaking contest, I always say, like the kickoff of all of our fair and exhibition opportunities, because this is an opportunity for our kids that are in that project to show off their skills. The registration is still open until March 15th, so sometime next week, next Wednesday, Thursday. You have to be a 4-H member and enrolled in the 4-H communications or public speaking project, which there's still time to do that and get signed up to do that as well. But yeah, the public speaking contest every year has age divisions. Junior, so our younger kids, and senior are kind of split up. So, you're competing kind of with similar backgrounds and capabilities, different divisions or categories to choose from. So whether it's a prepared speech that you make, a demonstration, an illustrated speech with, a poster or a PowerPoint or something you show off. So lots of different opportunities there.
And going along with your, the kickoff to your showing and your contests, one of the things that a lot of kids who are showing animals need to pay attention to their YQCA training, which is the Youth for Quality Care of Animals training, which 4-H members exhibiting live animals at the 2023 4-H shows are required to complete this training every year. Who is required specifically, Sarah?
Yeah, so everyone who is showing a live animal, so bringing an animal into the fair in the beef, dairy beef, so beef cattle, dairy cattle, goats, sheep, or swine projects, any of those animals have to take YQCA, Youth Quality Care of Animals, training at least once a year. So we are offering that online at any time. They can go in and sign in and do it online, complete it that way. Or if they want to come to an in-person training, we have a variety of them happening across our 4-county unit. But the one happening in Christian County is April 15th. That's a Saturday. In the morning, I think starting at 9:30, and at the Taylorville Library. So if they want to come in person and do the same training that way, they can come in person on April 15th.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sarah, obviously it's required, but what will they learn during the YQCA training?
So each year we've had this training for the past 3 or 4 years. We focus on 3 main things: food safety, so what the animals they're raising, how they go into the food supply, keep that safe. Animal husbandry and raising the animals humanely and properly. And then we also talk about life skills as they relate to the livestock project. So responsibility, hard work, resiliency, kind of streaming all of those together to understand how to care for their animal properly, how that affects our food supply when it's held or when it's cared for properly, and then the life skills that they ultimately learn as well.
Anything else that you'd like to add about any of the topics that we've already discussed before we head into a timeout?
No, just like you said, it's on the newsletter. Our newsletter is on the website. So any questions or follow up, newsletter, website, Facebook has all the information.
And while I have you all here, let me give you a little bit of a directory through the website. Go to extension.illinois.edu/CJMM. From there, click on the tab Programs we offer. Click on 4-H Youth Development, 4-H in Christian County off to the right-hand side. And from there, they should have a whole list of activities going on in Christian County for 4-H. That's Youth and Development Educator for Christian County Extension Office and 4-H Sarah Martin here on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
WTIM.
And on WMKR, Genuine Country 94.3.
Hi, my name is Bix Vira. My parents are Kristen and Joe Vira. I go to Taylorville High School and I am on the tennis team and photography club. I like art, tennis, and weightlifting, and my future plans are to go to college for art or graphic design, and I am in my church youth group.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, salutes these great Taylorville High School students on this honor and wish them the best in their future. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Hayden Fox, your local farmers insurance agent here in Taylorville. To learn more about our products and services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM, your ag information station, provides over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming on the air, stream live, and in podcast. Find out all the on-air and online platforms you can hear WTIM by going to TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You'll always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. University of Illinois Extension 4-H programs getting ready for summer. I have 4-H educator, youth and development educator, Sarah Martin on the phone. And we mentioned this a little bit, Sarah, to start, but we didn't really talk about it. You have your 4-H show coming up in the future. What is the 4-H show?
So the 4-H show is what we call our culminating event every year. So the 4-H program is a year-round program where youth are enrolled in a project and they kind of experience that project through working on hands-on activities, learning about it through experts, and build up to creating something that they then take to the fair in the summer to kind of show off to a judge, ask questions, to kind of get feedback on what they've learned and how they can grow in that project. So it's like the culminating event, the pinnacle of their learning process throughout the year is exhibiting at the 4-H shows.
And that takes place at the state fair? They get
So
that right?
Yes, they kind of start their process at the county level and do some judging at the county shows, and then those that excel at the county fair get selected to move on to the state fair. So the state fair is like the ultimate pinnacle. Here in Cushing County, we have our own county shows, and then the best of the best from here move on to the state level.
I had meant to say the county shows, and then they go to the state shows. Yeah,
You're good.
but
Yeah,
you
you're
picked me
good.
up. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And well,
Yeah,
what do 4-Hers need to know about the state shows, or I beg your pardon, the 4-H showings during the county fair week and all that other stuff?
Yeah. So every year we have a show book, an updated show book that comes out. It has all of the dates, the rules, what you can exhibit in which classes. So we have different, classes you choose from. We are probably 98% done with that book. We're just waiting on a couple more details before we finalize like dates and things, but it should be coming out here in the next week or so. So watch your emails and notifications on when that's ready to either pick up at the office or it will be at your 4-H club meetings, like your club leaders will have it. But that will have all of the, like I said, the rules, the dates, when judging starts, what to bring, what not to bring, like everything you need to know will be in that show book. And it's updated every year. Most stuff stays consistent year to year. If you have an old one, want to already get some stuff ready, but make sure when we get the updated one out that you check it over because there will be some updated rules, updated deadlines, things like that.
Excellent. And all this information, I'm sure, is at extension.illinois.edu/CJMM and then 4H/4H Christian County, roughly, right?
Correct. Yep, absolutely. And on our Facebook pages. Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Well, what else do you have coming up this spring that you'd like to let 4-Hers know about?
Just was gonna say, keep watching the newsletter. Like I said, we kind of fill the spring with workshops as well as like community service projects. Usually when we get closer to April and May, April we kind of designate as our community service month, and we have a national day of service the last Saturday in April, the 27th. Nope, that's May. I'm trying to look at my calendar. Either the 22nd or the 29th of April, that Saturday, we kind of celebrate National Day of Service, and we try to offer some big community service or encourage our clubs and our members to do community service on that date especially, but all through the month of April and all year long, of course. So watch for information if we're offering something specific in your county or specific in the unit that you can help us with on a community service level.
Sarah, I have a confession. Sometimes I admit that high schoolers are involved in 4-H, and you have something planned every year for the seniors. What should they know, the 4-H seniors, about the deadline coming up here pretty soon?
Yeah. So we also do at the state level as well as our local level honor our 4-H seniors for their years of service and their congratulations on moving forward onto future career or college or what have you. So we are offering at the local level just recognition in our newsletter and newspaper, but at the state level, there is a senior survey that the state encourages them to fill out, just asking questions about their experience in 4-H, what they've learned, how it's impacted them. And then from filling that survey out, each senior will receive a 4-H like tassel that they can wear at graduation or, have for a memento from graduation in the mail. But they have to fill that survey out by March 15th. So yeah, next week or a few days.
I'm itching to go see some baseball here pretty soon. I see you have a 4-H day with the Cardinals coming up in May.
Yes, that's also a longstanding tradition. We have worked with Missouri 4-H, Illinois and Missouri 4-H as kind of tag teams, offering a day in May to go and watch a St. Louis Cardinals game with a large group of 4-H members. So you buy special tickets, get a special T-shirt. I think they're offering hats as well to sell. In the past, youth have been able to go on the field and walk around before the game, kind of see some backstage tours open to 4-H members and their families. So if you want tickets, be sure to look at that date and get those orders as well.
Registration runs throughout March. That's Youth and Development Educator Sarah Martin. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.